Hey guys, Jason here from Sencor. Today I wanted to bring to you a brand new product, the SCP-2100. It's a cost-effective and portable internet gateway, encoding, and transcoding platform. It's built on ASIC-based technology, so you get the stability and quality you come to expect from a Sencor product. With nearly all input types coming standard, these include ASI, IP, 8VSB, SDI, and HDMI. The opportunities are nearly limitless. With support for nearly all major internet delivery protocols on the output, you get RIST, SRT, and ZXI, along with traditional MPEG over IP for your multicast and unicast applications. H.264 encoding technology up to 1080p 60, along with 2 audio services, make this the ideal choice for nearly every application.
Hey everyone, Aaron Doughton here, Product Manager with Sencor. Just wanted to talk about the DMG 7000 today. It's one of our software-based Internet Transport Gateway products. This product is perfect for doing reception, transmission, and conversion of a lot of different protocols, including ZXI, SRT, HLS, RIST, and MPEG over IP. The product is perfect for doing these kinds of reception, transmission, and even conversion of these protocols for point-to-point, cost-effective, quick-to-deploy content distribution networks. Or if you're trying to feed an MPLS network with a lot of different content, maybe you're receiving a lot of ZXI feeds, SRT feeds, MPEG over IP with FEC, you name it. This is a one-stop platform for receiving those kinds of streams and then converting them back over to MPEG over IP for your traditional MPEG over IP broadcast network. Being software-based, we have a variety of different form factors, anything from a small portable PC to 1RU rack mount servers for applications that require more bandwidth, or if you need dual power supplies, things like that. And then being software-based, it can also be deployed on COTS hardware that the users might already own, or into cloud-based platforms like AWS or Google Cloud.
The SCP-2100 was first conceptualized and developed for terrestrial signal acquisition applications. So in that application, you would take an 8VSB signal, for example, or maybe a DVB-T signal. You'd run that in RF into the back of the SCP-2100, and from there you could either transcode it or just use it as a strict gateway, and then send that out over any of your internet delivery protocols, whichever you prefer, whether that's SRT, RIST, ZXI, whatever, and send that off over the internet.
Yeah, the DMG 7000 has somewhat complemented some of those applications where the SCP was doing a lot of that. Like you said, it's the signal collection platform, but what we've seen sometimes where customers already have those signals out in the field or are ahead end trying to collect a lot of those different kinds of field-based or out in the field-based content streams, whether they're any of the protocols that Jason was saying. And so between being like out in the field with the SCP and then being back at the head end with the DMG 7000, we've noticed a lot of synergy and kind of complements of from product to product. One of the other ones I wanted to highlight too is also the MRD 7000 as well.
Sure.
The front end of the MRD 7000 is our software-based receiver decoder. For those of you that don't know, actually has all of those protocols on the front end as well. So if it's MPEG over IP or ZXI or SRT or RIST or HLS, you name it. We have a front end on the MRD 7000 so we can actually receive those signals from, say, an SCP out in the field and then do a decode in a multi-channel software-based platform. So not only the digital turnaround part of it, like doing the protocol translation, but also decoding back to SDI or 2110 or whatever it is.
Yeah, so depending on your workflow and your head end there, whether you need to get that back to your traditional multicast workflow or you need to get that back down to baseband to do re-encode or add insertion or whatever, we got you covered in all those applications. So one of the other applications I wanted to talk about is like a sporting event, for example. Whether that, it doesn't necessarily have to be a professional sporting event. A lot of the times it won't be actually. It may be a high school basketball game or volleyball game or whatever.
Yep.
And in the current state of things, as we know, a lot of these will be happening more remote or televised or streamed. So in those applications, it's literally as simple as taking a camera at the event there, plugging the output of that camera, likely HDMI, plug that into the SCP, and then again transport that over the internet back to your cable head end or your TV studio or remote news truck or whatever, right? And then pick that back up again with the DMG 7000 or MRD 7000.
Yep. And we've also seen this with not only like local sporting events. I think people think like Little League or something like that. Maybe go-kart racing, like Little League go-kart racing, something like that. But also esports for like video games and things like that. We've seen it where hook up an HDMI cable to an SCP and backhaul that directly to wherever it needs to go, and a variety of different protocols.
Yeah, and then those players can be at home on their own computers,
Yep.
and all competing against one another, and be televised from a central studio there. So.
Yep. And it's easy with the plug and play, aspect of the SCP too. All they got to do is literally plug it into their internet connection and plug it into their HDMI on their computer and give it some power, and they're pretty much off and running. So it's a nice plug and play setup.
Yep, super easy. Mm-hmm. One of the more interesting applications I wanted to highlight that we ran across here a few weeks ago is actually a remote monitoring application. So typically you have a bunch of personnel inside of your NOC. They're flipping through channels, making sure all the channels are good all the time. Well, since a lot of customers can't actually be in their head ends right now, many of them are working remotely. One of the ideas we had is basically take a number of these SCPs, put them in the head end, and hook them up to your traditional SDI router. Then the remote monitor, or the users, I guess, or I can't think of the right name for them, but the people that are doing the monitoring can...
The eyes on the wall.
Yeah, yeah, they can VPN back into the head end, change the source on the SCP by just changing the output of the SDI router. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it's going out over the internet, and they're receiving it and decoding it via VLC right on their computer at their home there. So pretty unique application there where you're just running it to a PC and watching the video, basically consuming the content like an end user, but for a different application there. So.
Yep. We've even seen that with the DMG 7000 as well. That was a little unique with the SCP just because of the SDI switching, but this could easily be done with the DMG 7000 as well with that. Ingesting a lot of the the mosaic MPEG over IP mosaics that come from a lot of the bigger remote monitoring wall type systems. They can actually ingest that MPEG over IP stream, turn it over to like a Zixi or an SRT or something like that, and you could have the entire multi-view as well. In addition to tuning to individual channels like that, like Jason was saying with the SCP. So it's kind of a combination of products, all similar APIs, by the way. All of these run with the SenCore Common Services Platform, is like we call it in our in-house conversations, but this gives us the ability to host a really familiar web interface across all the products, and as well as host everything like SNMP traps, SNMP control and monitoring, as well as REST API for more, I guess, modern types of orchestration and automation systems and things like that.
Absolutely. So we just wanted to show you those few applications, highlight those, give you some ideas. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's tons more applications out there, and it's you, the customers, that are coming up with these applications and allowing us to develop these features to better meet your needs. So if you have any questions on any of these products, either head on over to our website at sencore.com or talk to your account manager for more details and pricing. Yep. Thanks.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Seth Vermolm, Senior Product Manager at SenCore. I'm here today to demonstrate SenCore's new SLM 1530 ATSC 3.0 handheld signal level meter. As ATSC 3.0 deployments speed up, this small, handheld, lightweight meter is the perfect companion for anyone installing, testing, or troubleshooting ATSC 3.0 RF installations. Its rugged chassis, nylon carrying case, long-lasting battery, full-color screen make it the perfect on-the-go tool for ATSC 3.0. Now I'd like to demonstrate some of the features of this meter to help you understand how it can be used for troubleshooting and installation of ATSC 3.0. The first screen I'm going to is the channel info screen. This screen provides basic RF measurements like signal level, MER, BER, and some other basic information about each channel that's received. The next screen I'll show is the spectrum screen. This screen provides instant channel-wide spectrum all the way out to full system spectrum. It also includes peak markers and other standard spectrum features for anyone needing to understand the makeup of their spectrum or troubleshoot adjacent interference. The next screen I want to show you on this meter is one of the most exciting features of it. And the MPEG screen allows you to decode full video and audio from ATSC 3.0 signals, and also backward compatible to ATSC 1.0 signals as well. So you can easily pull up the channel list and change to different services within that view. The system scan screen allows you to scan an entire spectrum and get a quick and easy glance of all the channels that are present, their relative levels, and the type of channels that each of them are. This meter also includes a very handy Wi-Fi analysis feature that lets you see all the Wi-Fi networks that are available in the area, and also use it to troubleshoot any Wi-Fi interference and those kind of things. The constellation screen provides an RF constellation graph for the received signals, and will allow many professional RF engineers to quickly and easily understand different impairments that are affecting the signal. The next screen is the echoes screen, which gives you a graphical representation of all the reflections and echoes that are affecting your signal and the multipath around it. One of the other great features of this meter is the ability to connect to it remotely and pull up a web UI. The meter includes Wi-Fi capabilities to connect to your local Wi-Fi network or an RJ45 port on the side, and through that you can and through the web UI you can remote control the unit, set up many of the advanced settings and channel plans, upgrade firmware, and many other key features. In summary, this new SLM 1530 meter provides future-proof help for ATSC3 installations and is the perfect companion for field engineers dealing with this exciting new technology. Please visit Sencor.com for more information on the SLM 1530 and other exciting Sencor products for ATSC 3.0.